No, I know. You've been waiting. Y'all been telling me in the comments. Y'all been asking every day, when is it coming? Well, it's finally here. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best. And in today's video, I'm finally going over the patch notes that we got for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Obviously, Sparking Zero was a really big boom on this channel. It sold millions of copies. The game was wildly successful at launch, and I was part of that hype and part of the enjoyment and the fun and everything, right? I made a bunch of videos. We had a bunch of new viewers and subscribers and people watching the Twitch streams and everything like that. And then, you know, after the initial hype kind of died down and wore off, I realized that maybe for me personally, this game isn't all it's cracked up to be. And I did not keep it a secret, and I was not shy at all about sharing my concerns, my gripes, the things that I didn't like about the game and things that I want to see changed. A lot of you agreed with a lot of what I had to say. Some of you didn't. That being said, people have been telling me that I would love the new version of the game, that they listen to me, that they listen to a lot of us, and so on and so forth. To this day, I still haven't played the game for myself since I came back from my vacation, and I haven't read the notes for myself. Now, I'm aware of some stuff just because I've seen or heard about it or whatever, but for the most part, I actually don't know what they did in this patch. So we're going to go through that today because you guys have been begging me to talk about it, to react to it, and to try the game out again. So first things first, we're going to jump over here to this tweet that I have bookmarked. And this comes from Dragon Ball Game News, which has a screenshot of creator Endakuba, who's been quote tweeted by R-Creeps and replied to by Bandai Namco. And so Endakuba tweeted about the patch notes, whatever. And then R-Creeps said, almost everything in red, things of most importance, in our feedback document got addressed bar for bar in this patch. Thank you so much for being so receptive to feedback. And then Bandai replied from their US account, thank you to the community members who provided feedback. We are pleased that the patch aligned with many key points that fans are pleased with the updates. If you remember, I actually did make a video going over that big document full of changes that people wanted to see. And if you remember, I agreed with like basically 98% of what they said in that document, and they were voicing a lot of the same things, echoing a lot of the same things I had been saying were wrong with the game and that needed to be fixed or changed or improved in some form or fashion. So I'm excited to hear that, because since I agreed so much with that document and they apparently followed a lot of that, I'm looking forward to these changes. Now, I will say this is a slippery slope and it's very dangerous, because the last time I saw a Dragon Ball game get changed in a way that aligned with the community, so to speak. Let's stop beating around the bush. In Dragon Ball FighterZ, there was like an ultimate Dragon Ball FighterZ mod that the community, you know, was playing and enjoying or whatever. And it was kind of cool, whatever, but as a little mod thing to do on the side. Eventually, Dragon Ball FighterZ took a lot of those ideas and implemented them into the real game. And most people didn't really rock with it, myself included, long story short. So hopefully this game doesn't fall down that path where it's like, okay, you like that they're listening to the community. Hopefully these changes that they made were good and they listened to the right types of changes, but hopefully it doesn't become a thing where they just do whatever people in the community with the loudest voice say, because that could also go in a poor direction as well, whether that's from myself or any random viewer or whatever, you know what I mean? Because I don't know everything. I'm not the end all be all either. Just because I have strong feelings about something doesn't mean that I'm right, you know what I mean? So that goes for myself as well. That being said, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get into the actual patch notes. I'm about to get flashbang because it's bright white, but let's go ahead and get into it, man. All right, so first things first, functionality adjustments. And like I said, I know you guys have already been playing, and this has been out for well, over 2 weeks now. So you guys are experienced. You guys know about this. I'm reading all this for the first time. Battle setup. A function allowing you to change a character's display method has been added, and the My Sets function has been added for team members. Does that mean, actually, matter of fact, I can open up the game for myself over here on one of my other monitors so I can check things if I really want to. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so I've got the game launched. I got the game launched over on my other monitor, so we're gonna take a look at certain things as we go through these notes. And this is actually my first time launching the game in some months now. I actually haven't played the game in a couple of months, just because I wasn't finding it as enjoyable and I was waiting on to see what this patch had to offer and everything like that. But I want to check out this My Sets function, because if it's what I think it is, I'm already very excited. They did it. They did it. The My Sets feature is a function that allows you to have team presets. You see, if you hit R2 down here, you get the My Sets. You get to select 5 custom pre-made teams, so that way you don't have to go to character select and select all your characters every single time. Very, very welcome feature. This was just one of those quality of life improvements that I was very vocal about wanting. Very happy to see that they added this to the game. So we're already off to an incredible start. Next, ranked match / player match. You can now skip the intro battle animations, but requires both players to input the skip command. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're off to an incredible start. Player match. You can now set your team to hidden or revealed to your opponent when editing your team. Okay, I never even thought about that, but sure. Custom battle mode. Text can now be sorted alphabetically. Shout out to all the people who make custom battles. I actually never delved into it for myself, but this is another very welcome quality of life change. More of this, more of this. This is a perfect start. Oh my God. Options. You can now set the battle camera distance to be closer. And this isn't something I think I even talked about myself, but I'll gladly welcome that. Just again, I might not even necessarily like it more zoomed in, but just the option, just, you know what I'm saying, is very nice and very welcome. Okay. Battle system adjustments. High-speed dragon dash. New action. The new quick movement action, high-speed dragon dash, where you can move quickly towards your opponent, has been added. Perform with R2 and holding X or RT and holding A. Okay, hold on. I haven't seen this. Let me try this for myself. Let me jump into training mode. Okay, so perform with R2 and holding X. Oh, okay, I see. So just another movement option. Ain't mad at that at all. You don't have to hold R2. It seems like you have a decent amount. Okay, no, you can cancel out of it though. Okay, yeah, nice. That's okay. I rock with that. I rock with that. Just more movement options. I ain't never gonna be mad at more movement options. Well, I'm not mad at the addition of that movement option. I'll put it that way. Okay. Smash attack. You will no longer be stunned when being hit by a rush ki blast when charging a smash attack. Also, when charging a smash attack during a rush attack, charge time reduction based on hit count has been increased. Okay. A rush ki blast. The time between being able to fire the next rush ki blast after firing the maximum consecutive amount at once has been increased. It's different for each character. So this is like, again, referring back to that document, they made it more like the older Tenkaichi games, which I think is a welcome change. Rush ki blast deflection. You can now move while deflecting rush ki blast. I don't think I ever even noticed or realized that you couldn't do that before, but that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's welcome. Steps. You will now no longer be able to be hit by certain attacks immediately after performing a step, and rush ki blast and smash ki blast can now also be evaded. More defensive movement. Okay, I'm down with that. Z burst dash. The amount of ki consumed when activating it has been increased. I guess I'm indifferent on that. I'll see how I feel about it once I'm actually playing the game again. I'm not like mad or excited about that one. Burst smash. Ki will no longer be consumed when activating it and will instead consume an amount based on the distance traveled. I feel like that just makes sense. Blast. Damage has been increased when using a boost. Sure. Z search. Z search was so bad. It was so bad before. Z search will no longer lose track of your opponent when characters are swapped. Sure. And you will now quickly regain sight of your opponent if they enter your line of sight from the front when Z search is not locked onto them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, of course, they say this. How much of a difference did they actually make? How much does this actually matter in practice? Well, y'all been playing the game, so you let me know. But hopefully it makes as much of a difference as I hope so, because again, but so far, I mean, they are hitting the nail on the head. These changes, for the most part, like it's stuff I've been asking for. So yeah, like it does make me excited. It does make me want to jump on the game. I'm not gonna lie. So expect to see some Sparking Zero content coming soon. Z counter. The input window has been shortened. They made Z counters harder to do. Okay, Z counter, right? Z counter is the vanishing. Super counter is the other one. I had to refresh my memory real quick. So they made the vanishes harder to do by shortening the input window, which is good. So, you know, trying to help beat and, you know, change the vanish wars. Z counter will become more difficult to perform if performed consecutively. Yo, they literally, oh wow, they really are just taking, wow, okay. Ki consumed has been increased when successfully performing Z counter, and skill count increase speed has been reduced when successfully perform. We won. We won. We won. Bro, what? Revenge counter. Skill count consumed when using perception against revenge counter has been reduced from 2 to 1. When using perception against revenge counter. I don't have like strong feelings about that one. Rush attacks during sparking mode. Gradual damage reduction if consecutive hits has been increased, so they added more scaling to the rush attacks when you're in sparking. So that's good. Combos. The final attack of aerial combos and aerial slash combos will no longer be interrupted by guarding. I'm here for that. I'm here for that. I want more true combos in the game. Character switch. Health recovery rate of standby characters has been reduced. Thank the heavens. Yo, Bandai. Is this the best? Let me calm down. Let me calm down. I'll finish what I was gonna say, but is this the best Bandai patch for an anime game ever? Because this is crazy. Z burst dash on giant characters. The tackle done by giant characters during Z burst dash is now guardable. Yo, so my nigga Ryan was like, hey, they finally released Sparking Zero, and I was like, the patch is that good, huh? He was like, yeah, you're gonna like these changes. And yeah, a lot of this stuff should have just been the way the game was at launch. You know what I mean? If the game just had these changes at the start and like didn't require them to be added later, I can only just imagine how much better the everything would be. But it is what it is. Better late than never, I suppose. Skill adjustments. Skills that cause instant sparking mode. Skill count consumed has been increased. So I'm going to assume that this applies across the board to all skills. So on my team right now in the game, do I have Bardock on my team? I don't. But how much did they increase? So power up to the very limit is now 4 instead of 3 that it was before, I believe, for Trunks. So there's that. So I'm just going to assume that it's been increased by 1 for all characters. And that even includes Bardock, I would assume. Let me go ahead and check that for myself, because Bardock's was already 4 bars, right? But his was an actual like explosive wave and a instant sparking move at the same time. So let me just check real quick and see. I guess I'll swap screens real here so you guys can see. Is Bardock's, if I could find the character. It's been a while since you know what I mean, since I was on this character select screen. I know he's somewhere on the right side, or right-ish side. There he is. So now, yeah, Shockwave of Rebellion requires 5 skill count, which I think is fair. I think is fair. Going back, skills that increase stats in general, skill count consumed has been decreased. So at things like Super Saiyan 4 Goku's I'll beat you in 5 seconds and stuff like that, I assume. Them costing less skill count as opposed to them just being stronger, I'm indifferent. After image strike, effect duration has been reduced to 10 seconds and will be removed if your opponent uses perception while you are under the effect. They nerfed after image. Now I heard that after image is still pretty strong, but it isn't strong in the same way that it was before. So I have to see for myself. Like I said, I haven't played the game for myself. I hadn't read these notes and I haven't been super tapped in. We're going to try to get tapped back in. False Courage. Skill count has been increased from 1 to 2. Yes. Technique, all I need is 5 seconds. Oh, well, here it is. Yeah. Skill count consumed has been increased from 3 to 2, and status increase upon activation has been increased. Wait, what? Increased from 3 to 2. I'm just gonna assume this is a typo. It's been decreased from 3 to 2 is what I have the character select screen pulled up right here. I can check for myself. All I need is 5 seconds. Is now, yeah, it costs 2, so it's been decreased from 3 to 2, and status increase upon activation has been increased. I think this is good. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if it's like overtuned or anything now, but I felt like that skill was pretty useless. As somebody who actually really enjoyed playing Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I thought that skill was very, very, very weak. So that's a welcome buff as somebody who likes that character. Stardust Barrier, you can now activate it while receiving melee attacks from the front. Sure. Blast adjustments, long range blast and ultimate blast speed has been reduced. I think that this is a welcome change personally, because certain blasts just feel like they were way too quick, and you just weren't able to react to them even from far distances. And they go out of their way to acknowledge a few here individually. Super Vegeto's final comment, ki consumed and damage has been increased. They increased damage, okay. Goku Mini's quick rush trajectory can now be changed while rushing. You know, it's kind of interesting to me in this game, by the way, that the tracking on like rush attacks and like blast attacks has been flipped compared to the old games. You know, in the old games, rush supers had tracking and blast didn't. So blast was super easy to just step to the left or right or just like dodge or whatever. And then rush kind of has some tracking. And then in this game, it's the opposite, where beams will literally like bend and warp and track to your opponent. And then rush attacks kind of are like way more linear. And there are certain ones that you can control. I kind of feel like you should be able to maybe like manually control all rush attacks. You know what I mean? I feel like that wouldn't be terrible. I don't know, maybe. But Goku Mini getting that, which is Diamond Goku, if I'm not mistaken. Sure. And then Mr. Satan's Present Bomb increased ending lag after activation. Yeah, that makes sense. That was a little gimmicky, cheesy thing Hercule had, and that being toned down. Sure. Character adjustments. Android 19 and Dr. Gero. Health and key amount absorbed on successful throw has been adjusted. They nerfed the grabs. Good. Dragon Dash, Quick Ascent, and Quick Descend now consume keys. So when it comes to them just stalling and flying up and down, whatever, they can't just do that infinitely anymore. Thank you. Stupid design from the start, the way the androids were. Hopefully it's not nearly as bad. Second form Cell, you can now escape the throw. Cool. Cooler's amount of health restored upon transforming has been increased. Sure. Giant characters, increase the time it takes to charge a smash attack and reduce its power. Giant's getting a little bit of a nerf. Graded Vegeta and Dr. Wheeler got that maximum health reduced, which I forget how much health they had before, but sure. And then we have improved performance and ease of use. Oh, we're nearing the end. Oh wait, no, and that was the end. The application is updates required online to play, has been identified to play with online windows. Okay, yeah, and that's everything. So that is a pretty hefty list of really, really good changes in my opinion. Some of these I don't care so much about, but some of these are things that we as a community, the vast majority of us agreed that these needed to be implemented. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm honestly blown away. The game's still gonna not be perfect, of course, but if we can continue down this direction, down this path, and of course, you know, with the addition of DLC and other content updates and everything like that, I think the game is going in the right direction, and hopefully those who are still playing the game are having a great time. Hopefully this brings some players back, and then with the addition of the proper DLC, you know, you get that little boom, that little burst, that little resurgence, and players who jump back on stay on. And I will be playing the game for myself coming soon, whether that's on stream or in videos, and hopefully a lot of these changes are enough to help me stick to the game as well, because I really, really wanted to like this game, and I did at first because it was the shiny new toy, whatever, but once that honeymoon phase wore off, I saw the game for what it was and realized that there was a lot of things about it that I didn't like, and that's why I hadn't really been playing it or talking about it or making content, also because I was gone for a whole month. But yeah, this is, yeah, I mean, A+ patch in my opinion. There's still a lot of things that I'd like to see get changed that weren't addressed here, but they hit some really, really big points with this one, and this is incredible. this is dope. So we're gonna see how I feel about the game with these changes and everything like that, and see like what stands out the most as things that are better now or things that still need to be tweaked. But and yeah, man, how are you guys feeling about Sparking Zero right now? How do you guys feel about these changes, the current state of the game, the community, the character balance, power, everything like that, quality of life? Any changes you still want to see, any things you don't like about the current version or about this patch or whatever? Let me know all that stuff in the comments down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all the awesome content that I'll bring you. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. And remember, nothing can happen until you swing the bat.